Welcome back, Bobcat fans. After a disappointing season, we're going to do the end of season stuff here and see if we can bring in some more recruits and see what the team is going to look like next season. We're also going to say goodbye to some of our graduating seniors, and hopefully we don't have any players that are transfer off, but you just never know. The offseason is this wild beast, and hopefully Coach Conquest can bring it all together and pave the way for a better season. I think 7 wins is phenomenal, but in going into the next season, I definitely want to change some things up with the way our season looks at the beginning and what we're going to face at the end. But the biggest thing we got to deal with first is recruiting, so let's get into that. Well, it looks like even though the athletic director was throwing some shade our way, we are safe at Texas State. We improved the record from 4-8 to 7-5 in just our first year. Overall, though, we still have a losing record. The school does, anyway, in Division I play. Check out the, oh my God, if we were really looking to move up. South Carolina has an opening and Penn State has an opening. Let's check out some of the season stats and see what these guys did. Justin Horn, 129.5. He was 92 for 191, 16 yards, 12 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Brent Dunbar, 66 for 141, a 110 rating, 970 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Really got to work on our passing routes next year. You can see a big difference in the yards per game. We covered that earlier on. But look at the sacks. God, we got to get some offensive linemen. 22 sacks and 20 sacks. That's embarrassing. Comes to rushing, Sutton had over 1,500 yards on the season. When he touched the ball, he averaged 5.1 yards. 11 touchdowns for him. Darnell Jones come off 117 yards on 27 attempts. He'll probably get more touches this upcoming season. 128.8 yards a game for Sutton. Look at the Yak, though. 573. 6 rushes of more than 20 yards. Falks was our leading receiver on the year, followed by Gandy, and then our possession receiver, Stewart. None of them reached 1,000 yards, but they did spread out some touchdowns. 5 for Falks, 3 for Gandy, Stewart and Booker, 2. Sutton had 3. Austin and Jones, 1. Falks and Gandy with 70-plus yard touchdowns. One thing that we'll have to improve on is the drop rate. Falks and Stewart, 9 apiece. Gandy, 8. Booker had quite a few. We need guys with hands. Look at our linemen here. Thompson give up 8 sacks this season. Perkins give up 7. 6 for Tally. And the list goes on. Humphrey, who's an All-American, 75 solo tackles on the season. 6 sacks. Let's do the sacks. Obviously, Mangum is the man on sacks. Johnny Summers with 12. Behind him, Fogel, Gore, Humphrey, Cleveland, and Jensen all showing up to do God's work. Back to the tackles. Robinson and Kendrick and Gore and Parker were in the 50 tackle club. Congrats to them. Jensen and Stanley in the 40. Mangum in 30. Mangum was more about getting sacks. Kicking, Sands, 75% on the year, 15 for 20. His longest was 48. He made every extra point we asked of him. It looks like the field goals that he missed were in the 40 to 49 yard range. So no shame in that. Oh, he missed one 50 plus. So O'Connor averaged about 37.2 yards on punting. Very good. Falks, obviously the stud and kick returning, his longest 99 yards for the touchdown. He almost had 1,000 yards kick returning. Sanders, not bad either. Sanders actually averaging more per return than he did. Over there, you can see the passing leaders. Horn was 113th on passing, but he only played part of a season. Sutton finished 2nd in the country in rushing. A couple of those bad games knocked him out of that. Like Scott out of Georgia Tech would surpass him. Falks 148. I don't understand the defense on this game. Your user team always just dominates defense. And maybe that's because you get more. The game's not very good at simulating other teams. Same thing for sacks. We had the 2 sack leaders by far. Longest field goal was Western's Allen with 55 this season. Lots of coaching changes. I just want to see the coaching changes in our league. Looks like Arkansas State lost their defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. They took new jobs. Georgia State fired their DC and OC. South Alabama fired their entire staff. Oh no! Kaysen and Tate both left. We have new coaches now. Not exactly happy about that. I'd like to know where Tate and Kaysen went. Looks like Troy's head coach got an extension and they lost their DC. And then Lafayette, everybody left them for a new job. And then the rest, Western looks like everybody left there as well. So we'll have to see where everybody went. It doesn't look like anybody stayed in. I need to see where our coaches come from as well. CJ Tate went from Texas State to Middle Tennessee State. They did win a New Orleans Bowl last year, but oh, they beat the team from our conference. Yeah, that's right. They beat Troy. That's a good move from him, I guess. Not very happy about it. Carl Kaysen went to UTEP. They are actually a worse prestige team than we are in Conference USA, though, so I'm not really sure about that. So Tate takes a better job. I can understand that. But Kaysen, maybe he just left because our defense was bad. I mean, we had lots of record holders and stuff, but at the end of the day, we finished toward the bottom. Well, if you're expecting upgrades, don't. Looks like Jesse Broussard was fired from Kansas. Their NCAA rank was 90th out of 126, so technically he's stepping up, but but not really, because he was in the Big 12 and now he's coming to the Sun Belt. I'm really interested to see what their stats are. Let's see where Rodney Pierce come from. Rodney Pierce was fired from Pittsburgh, where they were the second to last place team and 116th out of 126 teams in the NCAA. Why did we not have any input into this? I mean, I'm sure it's up to the athletic director, but we have 2 fired coaches. Yeah. All right, this is the rough part of the game. This is when we see who actually leaves. All right, we have a couple of players who are trying to leave because of playing time, and I think that we can bring them back, especially this tight end, so we'll see.
A few moments later.
So neither one of them are staying, but let's go down through the line. Say goodbye to some of our great players. Greg Robertson. Dude was a stud. 56 tackles, 8 for loss, 2 sacks, 4 pass deflections. Chris Gandy. This one saddens me. Actually, these 2 in a row. Lucas Fulks and Chris Gandy. Breaks my heart that they're leaving. 36 receptions, 631. Made some tough catches. 3 receiving touchdowns. A 75-yard one. I mean, 174 yards after catch. Those 8 drops, though. Lucas Fulks was the same way. Big stud on a returning game. These are going to be 2 hard people to fill. I don't see us bringing in. We got a great quarterback, but I don't see who he's going to throw to right now. 200 yards after catch. 9 drops. Brent Dunbar. What do we say about Brent? Brent started the season off. Lots of ridicule. Little did we know that it would turn out he would have to come in at the end and try to win that game against Troy. But it showed to be a little too much for the senior. But 4 years here, great career. Had almost 1,000 yards his senior season, 5 touchdowns. He was just beat up because of his line. He couldn't help it. Oh, man. Check out these next 3 guys. What can you say about them? Johnny Summers, Eric Cleveland, and Omar Magnum. Omar Magnum now has the record. Run stopper indeed. How about like quarterback destruction? Losing these guys is going to be impossible to fill next season. 12 quarterback sacks by Summers, 24 tackles. You go down to Cleveland, 19 tackles, 5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. And then Omar Magnum, he was a god amongst men. 30 tackles, 17 sacks, 1 pass deflection. Dude did it all. Kendrick, I gave him crap all season. He did well. We're losing a lot of guys in the 70s. That saddens me. 55 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 defensive touchdown, the pick 6 early in the season. Gore! Ryan Gore leaving us. Man, another person with a great career. 55 tackles, 7 sacks, 1 forced fumble. I mean, in a year where we didn't have a lot of fumbles, he's it. Corey Kramer, he really never got in there to do any statistics. I feel like we probably should have redshirt him, but it was too late in the season to think about that, as he was playing behind Mangum, and Mangum was just a man beast. I know Kramer was in there. He just didn't get any stats. Chris Thompson, he gave up 8 sacks. Our fullback Lance Austin, he was on the field a couple times. Didn't really get to carry the ball. I don't think I handed it to him once. Ray Fogel. God, we're losing so many people. 24 tackles, 13 for loss, 8 sacks. Our defensive line is in shambles. It's going to be a rough season. Antonio Powell, he really didn't get in there much, playing behind some Studley players. Brant had 11 tackles, 1 pass deflection, and 2 for loss. He would come in on when we would really have to load up for wide receiver coverage. Matt Bailey got in there a little bit, 1 tackle. A couple other people down here, Raymond Jean graduating, and Jonas Pierce. The only thing Pierce did was give up 2 sacks. That's our players. That's everybody leaving. That's a rough list. I salute these guys. None of our players got drafted. Who would have thought about that? Alabama's entire team got drafted. Who would have thought about that? Oh, this is nice. J.D. Carter, middle linebacker out of Baylor, wanting to transfer here. He didn't play any, it looks like. He's 6'2". He's a freshman. So we'll get him for at least 3 years. That is a position we needed to fill recruiting-wise. This is amazing. J.D. Carter, welcome to the Bobcats. You're going to look good in red and white. All right, we're still in a recruiting battle. So hopefully in this offseason we could lock up some of these people and fill out our team. All right, the offseason's a little bit different. We've got 10,000 points, and we got to try to lock up some of these players. This is big dog talk here. All right, I've allocated my points. I hope that it works out. I'm really trying to get Cobbs because we need to bolster our secondary. We picked up that linebacker, but I'd like to have another one. We can always move him to either left or right, so we could run our 4-3 stack. Some of these guys we have the lead. I hope that keeps going. So I don't know if we're going to get Claude Pittman. That's going to be I know that we've already picked up 1 defensive end, but we're going to be very thin. So I need to throw points. Hughes, I really want to keep him. So let's just see what happens. Oh my God. We got Jermaine Hughes. That will help on the defensive line. We lost the safety to North Texas. Chuck Denman, Josh Dawson, Seth Foster, TJ Manning, and Lawrence Galloway. So we got some people to fill spots. 4-star. We signed a Jim. We got a 3-star and a prospect. We lost him to Clemson by 205.
Hello, darkness,
we lost Cobbs by 30.
I've come to talk with you again.
Ouch. We did get Chuck Denman. That is a wide receiver that we desperately needed to fill. He's 69 overall, which Gandy and Falks were 73 and 76. So as a freshman, he's going to get some automatic play time. Seth Foster, we got a guard. With that said, we've actually, I think, signed 4 offensive linemen. So hopefully if we can invest into them, that will help out. I really wanted this tackle. That would have finished our line. Man, it's like Clemson just knew what we were putting. Yeah, it's a computer, so they probably did. But defensive end, Josh Dawson, 66 overall. That is nice. We needed that. Florida State nipping him around 200. Hey, we got Lawrence Galloway out of Georgetown, Kentucky. That is right up the road. Nice. Getting a Kentucky guy on the team. I mean, let's be honest with Lawrence. He's probably going to get redshirted his first season, but still. TJ Manning, outside linebacker, 60 overall. The big signing, and we got him from Texas A&M. Jermaine Hughes, defensive tackle, 74 overall. Big one right there. Sad we didn't get Ricky Martin. He's living La Vida Loca in Miami of Ohio, it looks like. So overall, not a bad group. We'll have to see where we rank in the class. That's going to be interesting. I think we got all of our needs but a fullback. And I think, well, it's saying we get... Oh, it says we have one, but I don't think we did. I think it's going to be a walk-on. And we needed one other defensive tackle, so that's going to kind of hurt us. We may be playing a lot of 3-up. Unless one of the other recruits can slide over and play D-tackle. We'll have to see. Overall, we got 18 recruits, 2 4-stars, 11 3-stars, 3 2-stars, and 2 1-stars. 18 overall, like I said, and that's the 57th best class in the country. That's not bad. We are now a 2-star team, prestige-wise, so that's not bad, actually. So I will take that. So here's all of our signings. Denman, Jones, and Booth had our class, 2 4-stars and a 3-star. We got a center. 3-star, Dawson, Foster, Walker, Galloway, Manning, Hines, Fields, Jackson, and Hughes. Lots of 3-star caliber. Hopefully they live up to it. And a couple of 2-stars and 1-stars. Hopefully these guys... Oh, we do have the walk-ons here. So Brown and McCoy are our walk-ons to fill some spots. Hopefully we can get something, though. He's 6'5" and 194. That's going to be interesting to see. Our fullback, 6'3", 243. Dude's got some meat to him. We'll see if he can block some stuff. All right, let's set our team. Let's try to set the positions and see what we can do here. I've got a little spreadsheet. I type all this stuff out, so it ought to be interesting. So as it sits now in the quarterback position, Brian Jones is 4 points better than Horn. He is slower, so he's definitely not going to be able to scramble as much as Horn did. Right now, I'm leaning to maybe redshirting him. I'm not for sure. His elusive rating is pretty high. Throwing power is 92. His throw accuracy is 84. Oh my God, I feel like I have to give him the start. Dude is going to be amazing. And as a freshman, I'll have to wait and see what you all say about that. Obviously, right now, our number 1 and 2 running backs are going to be Sutton and Jones. I may redshirt this McCoy because he's 70 overall, and he'll probably be the next in line after Jones and Sutton graduate. So the walk-on fullback, who looks like he picked Tulane, but walked onto our school, he must have got cut maybe, is 40 overall. He's not going to be able to block for anybody, I don't think. Run block 53, impact blocking 49. We have a plethora of wide receivers. Stewart and Austin returned from last year. But we've got a core of freshmen, so I'm going to have to think about who we want. Stewart's possession, and the rest of these guys are speed. Denman's balance. Austin, I know, is speed as well. So I have to look at who we're going to keep. Maybe like stagger these. So maybe a Denman gets redshirted. Then Austin can play that 3 spot. And then Kennery can come off the bench. then maybe that's going to be something to look at there. And maybe we'll have to look at some of their and see if some of them, Bride, he's got 90 speed, but maybe they can play defense. Denman definitely needs to be redshirted. Look at that catching rating, 62. Ugh. Looks like after this season, we'll have Booker, which Booker come on really strong last year. He'll be our go-to tight end. We're definitely going to have to get some replacements. We got Johnny Walker down there. I might redshirt him as much as I hate to, but we got 3 senior tight ends. I got some decent acceleration, but what's their catching? Booker's got the best catching. That makes sense. Walker would be 3rd. So, yeah, we redshirt him. He'd be a great replacement coming in after that. All right, the offensive line. This is where I'm really going to have to be meticulous of who we move where and try to get the strongest combination possible. So this will take a minute. All right, I've meticulously went through here and tried to change people around. Now, I hate that it makes you do the position changes before you do where they work out and stuff, but we're still going to be right or weak on that right side. We got Perkins, a sophomore, over on left tackle, 74 overall. Left guard, we got a senior, Brown. At left guard, we got a senior, Brown, 72 overall. Center, we've got a 69 overall, but he is a junior, so he should grow a little bit. That's Ali Tally. It's going to be neat to call out. Right guard, we are playing junior Randy Burton, 73 overall. And then, unfortunately, it falls to Zach Jackson, the freshman, to protect the quarterback. But the quarterback, I believe, is right-handed, so that should be the side he can see from. We have no left ends. We're definitely going to have to move people around. We have a ton of right ends. Okay. All right, we fixed our left end problem. We brought Franklin, Dawson, and Galloway over. We got a junior leading them. So that should be good. And that gives us room maybe to let Galloway or even Dawson redshirt their first season so they can grow. At right end, I'm going to put the phenom that we recruited, Darius Fields, in there. I'm trusting him over Ulysses Sutton, but if things do go awry, we will have a senior to jump in there. I'm also debating letting James Jenkins get redshirted on the first season, but we'll have to deal with that later on. Defensive tackle, we are very thin, but we also have a quality person in Jermaine Hughes being there. I may have to move one of those freshmen over to this position just to have some more bodies there, though. All right, I think we've got the defensive line worked out. We've got Franklin, Jenkins, and Galloway over on the left side. That put us at 67. Right in, we got Darius Fields and then the senior, Sutton, as his backup. And then I bolstered up the tackles by bringing over Josh Dawson, the freshman recruit. Hopefully his training goes through and he'll come up. And then we have Jermaine Hughes as the leading D tackle. So if we need to put 4 up, we'll be all right. All right, I think we got our linebackers worked out. And thankfully for that transfer, we're in great shape. Marcus Jensen is back. He was a good leader last year. He's a senior, 75 overall. He'll be taking the left outside linebacker position. We've got Steve Humphrey, another leader, All-American. He will be our middle linebacker, only a junior. So that's nice there to have him for at least one more year, hopefully, unless he goes pro. And then the transfer, J.D. Carter, he come in as a middle linebacker. We can move him over to right, and he can fill that position and have a senior backup. And he's only a sophomore, so a young linebacker crew, except for our left outside linebacker, but we got a number of freshmen that can play the spot in a couple of years. Let's move on to our secondary, where we definitely needed a lot of work, so hopefully some of these young guys can come in and help out. All right, so for our secondary, things kind of worked out a little bit better than I thought they would. And here's why I'm going to say this. Last year we had Stanley playing as a cornerback, and he got beat so much. Like, he just couldn't go straight routes and cover. So what I've done this year is we've got Russ Parker and Josh Sanders who are going to be playing 1 and 2 corners. That's 70 overall. They've got some decent speed to keep up with people. and acceleration to boot. Sanders with that 91. We have him on returns. What I've done is I took Stanley off and moved him over to free safety. And he actually turned into a better player, going to 77 overall as opposed to 74. So that's a big jump for that. And that improves our free safety position. And he's also got TJ Newton who can come in when he gets tired. So that's a big jump from 69 to 77 on that position. As a strong safety, we've got Randy Booth, who was that one safety I went crazy for at the start of this last season, and he's going to be in there at 73 overall. So I like our secondary. The thing is if you look through them, Randy Booth, hard hitter. Brian Stanley is balanced. Our other guys are hard hitting and balanced. So again, not really interception savvy. We'll just have to see what happens. Obviously, our kicker is going to be Sands again. And our punter will be O'Connor. And that is the team thus far. So overall, I don't know. I'll have to go back and compare what we were last year. We've still got training to do. We'll go from that. I want to keep my changes. Here's the part I love, everybody. Training results. Here's where it matters. Brett Conquest has picked up a number of levels here in the offseason. All right, here we go. Let's see the training results. Boom, look at some of those numbers. All right, this is too much to look at it here, so I'm going to have to break it down position-wise. So the incoming freshman won't have any results. But looking at this, Justin Horn is now the same overall as the incoming Brian Jones will be. That's going to be something to think about. Look at our boys. Sutton picking up 6. Jones picking up 5. Fountain 6. Look at running backs put in some work. Tom Sutton now at 81 overall. Checking out our wide receiver crew. I feel like Ryan Stewart went down for some reason. All right, so our wide receiver is looking a little bit better, closer to 80s. He didn't get any speed. Look at Dixon down there, 91 speed. Kennery, 93. McBride, I'm gonna have some thoughts to do. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do with them. That's some big numbers. Booker being a man beast, jumping up to 79, almost 80. He's gonna be a target this year. Left tackle Perkins went up to 4. That's good. That helps us out there. Also like the fact that Fitzpatrick is no longer in the 50s. Marquez Brown, 76 overall now. His backup, 72. Joe Smiley moving up in the... See, I wish you could see the training results before. So then, like, maybe now if I move Smiley over to right tackle, he would be better than Zach Jackson, that freshman coming in. Holy crap, is Ali Talley the best player, like, production-wise? Has he got the biggest jump this year? Moving up to 76 overall and taking away my worries that I had for that center position. Randy Burton going to 77 at right guard. Left end Franklin goes up to 71, so that'll make 2 of our main guys on the defensive line in the 70s. Got some strength points. I like that. Look at Daniel Hollis, the backup right in. I mean, they're going to be playing behind Darius Fields, but Hollis could move over to be the backup left end now with that. See, I'm going to have to move things around now that I've seen these results, because that changes a lot of stuff. He's like the second best right in behind Ulysses, which you want him to be there, but Hollis could be the backup on the other side. Ronnie Ellis and Sean Young putting in some work there for a defensive tackle. They don't want to lose their position, the freshman. Marcus Jensen going up to almost 80 overall for his senior season. Looking nice. His backup Scales doing work too. Steve Humphrey doing the same. So 2 of our linebackers sitting at 79 overall. J.D. Carter, the transfer, he got to do some work. Now, he was 74 overall when he come in. But it looks like now that he's transferred, I guess we got his real stats, and he was really 71 overall, but now he's up to 75. So that's still a +1 gain from what we thought. Look at his backup, Ward, 5, jumping into the 70s. Parker and Sanders doing work on the outside. They didn't get their strength up, but their speed went up. That's going to help. I hope their catching ability went up. Parker actually jumped Sanders to be the #1 overall corner. Of course, our cornerbacks are 5'11". That's kind of, their catch ratings are still trash. 47 and 57. All right, we made it through the cut players. I didn't cut any players. Some of the players did real good on training. I think now it's time to figure out. I'm going to try to set the custom conferences up the way they are currently, as close as I can get. So this will take some time. And then we'll see what the BCS bowl tie-ins are. All right, I've went through and I've changed the custom conferences. I've tried to make it more aligned to what we have today. I've followed a guide to the best that I could. So I'll just scroll through these so you can see the new alignments and who's in what side. I did have to turn some rivalries on and off just to get it going, but we'll go with that. I feel like the Big Ten is not right, but that's what the guide said to do. But it does have some other parts that follow if some troubles arise. Conference USA. Western Kentucky, notably, has moved to Conference USA, and they've left the Sun Belt. There's only 3 independent teams right now. The MAC looks a little bit different. Mountain West, I believe, picked up a team. Pac-12, the only thing I really did there was change where their championship was. The SEC, and here's your new Sun Belt. We have picked up Idaho and New Mexico State as 2 other teams with the loss of Western. So that's going to make it look a little bit different. I think the only thing I changed in the bowl tie-in was the American Conference no longer gets an automatic bid. All right, we've come up to the actual preseason for the next season, and I'm going to stop it here because what I want from you all is in the comments section is to leave comments about what teams you'd like to see on the schedule for this upcoming year. It's going to be a different year. Last year, the hype was real. 7-5. This year, a whole new team almost. So we'll see what happens. But let me know, what teams across the country would you like to see the Bobcats play? And would you like to see them come here? Now, be realistic. Certain schools, Alabama is not going to come play in San Marcos. Just be honest. But after that, we will set up the schedules. We'll redshirt certain players, and we'll start the season. And I'll look at recruits and see what we need. But as always, thanks for watching. I know I've talked a lot. I've went back and forth. I've been filling out spreadsheets and things. It's just stuff that I do, and I get excited. As always, thanks for watching. God bless. I will see you all for the start of the next season. Don't forget to let me know below, what teams do you want to see me play? Night, gamers.